Good morning, Monica.
Edward?
Well, what's so interesting there? You think the headlines were about the state of our financial affairs. You're so buried in the paper, huh?
No, it has nothing to do with the stock market.
Oh, well, I just thought you might be checking up on me. You are satisfied that Alan's and your money is back in the Paris bank account, aren't you?
This has nothing to do with us, Edward. It has to do with Diana's murder.
I am sorry, Monica. I guess I've been trying to block that out of my mind. She was such a young woman.
Yeah, and a very good friend.
The older I get, the more I realize how precious life really is. How anybody thinks they can have the right to take another human being's life is more than I can fathom.
No, I could never comprehend something like that.
I hope they catch whoever did it and string them up alive.
Edward?
What? Oh, did they find the murderer?
Well, they've taken someone in for questioning.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
I'm not so sure you will be.
Why? It can't be anybody that we know.
Yes, I'm afraid it is. And Logan.
You can't be serious.
I wish I weren't.
Monica, how could that be?
Well, I don't know, Edward. I don't know details, just that her picture and headlines are all over the paper.
Nurse questioned in Taylor murder. This is an outrage. There must be some mistake. Anne Logan is certainly not capable of committing murder.
Someone is. But you're right. I can't believe that Anne could have done it. Well, I guess I'll find out a lot more when I get to the hospital. I'm sure that rumors are flying fast and furious there.
Oh, well, look. Monica, please let me know what you do find out, huh?
Yes. Yes, I will. And by the way, Edward, I'm definitely going to look into the Paris account.
Well, as you should.
And would you mind looking in after the baby?
You know I will, Monica.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Well, did I miss sending Monica out for a good day?
Well, as you can see, you did just miss her.
Great.
I wish the two of you can learn to get along.
Edward, you know that'll never happen. Now what's wrong?
Well, several things. First of all, Monica just told me that Anne Logan had been picked up for questioning on that murder.
Anne Logan. Isn't that Jeff Weber's girlfriend?
Yes, one and the same.
Oh, Edward, Anne Logan couldn't even hurt a fly, let alone kill someone. And believe me, I know from the people that I've had to deal with.
Like the Cassadines?
Yes, like the Cassadines. And that's what's worrying me, Edward.
By the way, what did James Duvall have to say about yesterday? Did he realize that Cassadine had somebody at the parade?
I never saw Duvall.
What do you mean you never saw him?
I went to his apartment, I waited till the wee hours of the morning, and he never returned.
Well, do you think the Cassadines got to him? After he slipped that calling card into your pocket?
No, I don't think so. Because I think we would have heard from them by now if they had. But you know what? They just like to see me squirm.
I don't like any of this, Alexandria.
Either do I, Edward.
You must find Duvall.
Oh, I'll find him. And when I do, I'd better convince him to stay off the streets. Or he might end up dead. Like your friend Diana Taylor.
All this violence in the world. And every day it gets closer and closer to us, doesn't it?
Bobby at the front desk. How would you like to work up on 7?
Well, I don't particularly care to hide today. How about if I work at the desk with Bobby?
You sure you want to do that?
Yep, absolutely positive. I can't think of anybody I'd rather work with today.
Thank you. All right, if you're sure, fine.
I am.
Well, I'll be back in a little while. I'm just going to check the floor nurses.
Thank you. Don't worry, Jessie. We'll be okay.
Somehow I think you will. Thanks, Jessie.
Well, we're here to take over.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Amy.
Bobby. Anne.
Hello, Amy.
Hi, Amy. Anne, I just want you to know how sorry everyone is.
Thank you, Amy.
And Mrs. Brewer, I don't mean to butt in, but, well, shouldn't Anne be assigned someplace where she won't be hassled today?
Well, she wants to work at the front desk.
I really admire you, Anne. You're a very special lady.
Thank you.
Where do you want me assigned?
Well, Dr. Hardy's secretary will probably need some help. It may be kind of a rugged day.
Reporters and all, yeah.
Yeah. Think you could help out there and be very careful about what you say?
Oh, absolutely.
Appreciate that. Thanks again.
Good luck today.
I guess that was kind of a surprise to all of us.
I think that's a very good omen.
Yeah, I think I'll take it as one, all right.
Well, I'll see you shortly.
Okay, bye-bye, Jessie.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Great. Maine, that's Miss Spencer.
Right away.
Hello, Anne.
Good morning, Monica.
Any messages?
You got 2 right here.
Well, that's a pretty good way to start the day. Listen, Anne, I want to say something. I have never worked with a finer person or a better nurse in my whole career.
Thank you, Monica.
I mean that, really.
I appreciate that very much. It's... You really find out how many friends you really have right now, you know?
Well, tell me, is Steve in the hospital?
No, he's not in yet. No, he'll be in soon.
When he does come in, would you tell him that Alan isn't coming in today? He had a very light schedule, and the baby's sick. He's going to stay home and look after him.
I'll make sure he knows.
Thank you.
Monica, thank you again, really.
Well, good morning.
Oh, don't you good morning me. Where have you been?
Well, I was beginning to think you didn't care.
Oh, don't pull that stuff on me. Now, where have you been? I have been worried sick.
Were you really?
Now, how can you even ask that kind of a question?
Show me.
What was that little charade that you pulled yesterday?
At the parade.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. That little scene with Laura Baldwin. I mean, what kind of ridiculous schoolboy stunt was that?
At least I'm seeing the fire in your eyes again, Alex.
And for a damn good reason. But I'm afraid it's not because of Laura Baldwin. No, indeed. Take a look at this. Do you recognize the handwriting?
Where did you get this?
Someone slipped it into my pocket at the parade. Do you recognize the handwriting?
Well, it's Cassadine himself.
You're sure?
I've read enough of his memos over the years to know the man's writing, Alex.
Well, through my brilliant deductions, I would say that Mr. Cassadine was definitely at the parade yesterday.
Well, I don't think I was spotted.
Well, I think this is hardly the time for uncertainty. Because if Cassadine saw you, that means he followed you, which means he knows where you live, which means that both of our lives are worthless.
I went to a movie last night, Alex.
Oh, great. That's great.
No, actually, the movie was lousy. So lousy, the theater was practically empty. I'm sure I would have noticed one of Cassadine's men, and certainly Cassadine himself. But they're too close, Alex.
No, look, James, look.
We have to go to them. Give back the Ice Princess.
But our entire future rests in that statue and that formula.
Our future is us, Alex. Not the money, the power. Isn't that all that's really important? The two of us being together and being alive?
Just don't understand. You just don't understand.
You won't give it back, would you?
No.
Then at least find a way for me to have some kind of life out of this room. I can't go on being kept in cold storage this way.
Oh, but my love, it's not going to go on like this forever. It's not. not.
You keep on making empty promises.
But they are not empty promises. They're not.
I want to speak to your uncle, Alex.
No.
Alex, have you told him about my part of the deal yet?
Well, I just haven't had a chance to do that yet, my love. But I will.
Oh, Alex, I suggest you take care of that little detail immediately. I am a 50-50 partner.
Now, look, James, I know exactly what I'm doing. And my family finances right now are so strained that there is no way that I could even broach that subject. And my uncle has no idea how much of the family fortune that I have invested. And if he knew, he would literally explode. Now, trust me, just trust me. I know exactly what I'm doing. Trust me.
I only hope you're right.
I am right.
I certainly do appreciate all of this, Mrs. Renfrew. I know it's going to be a big help to me.
Well, I only want to do it for Mrs. Taylor.
Yes, I come in.
Here's that report you were waiting for, Captain. The explanation on the time of Mrs. Taylor's death.
Excuse me. What? Mrs. Renfrew, are you certain about the time you saw Ann Logan in that corridor?
Positive. As I said, I looked at my watch just as I went into the building. What?
Would you be willing to testify in a court of law?
It's the truth. Of course I'll testify.
Thank you. You'll be hearing from me very shortly. As a matter of fact, I'd appreciate it if you could keep yourself a little loose in case I want you for a police lineup.
Well, you have my number.
Thanks again. You've been a big help. Thanks, Marilyn.
Captain, a lineup?
Carl, I need positive identification from any or all of the witnesses at the scene of the crime. If I decide to arrest and book Ann Logan for the murder of Diana Taylor, I'll be at General Hospital if you need me.
These have to go to Marie in 702. Tell her happy birthday.
Yeah, that was a good wish. I know, but I think we gotta keep her for at least 5 minutes.
Well, if you think so, then we should.
At least 5.
Okay, all right, fine.
So how's it going today, Ann?
Oh, everything's okay. How about you?
You must be especially zonked, marching in the parade. Not to mention all the work you do with Diane. Well, you know.
I'm fine. Really.
How are we doing message-wise?
I'll check.
Thank you.
What's happening? Oh, shouldn't make me feel very popular.
Why don't you let me handle this?
Thank you.
I think these are for you. Dr. Brown, Dr. Masters. With all due respect, if you weren't so preoccupied, I think you would have heard your OR page.
Were we paged?
2 times.
Oh, that's terrific. Come on, let's go.
You've gotten in trouble. Under the circumstances, I don't think so.
Thank you.